Split 2 officially begins today. It's week 7 here in CCL Season 3, date number 1 here on the Alpha Stream. My name is McCormiel. Alongside me is Cam Burton. We're going to be taking you not through 1, not 2, but all 3 matches here on the Alpha Stream tonight, and I could not be any more happy.
We're running the marathon tonight, Corn. I'm looking forward to it. I got my running shoes on, and we're starting it off with a real great matchup tonight. A couple Southwest squads taking it toe-to-toe here. And like you said, it's split 2. I mean, sure, there was a lot on the line before this point, but now is when the intensity really kicks out. Everybody is going to be putting on full display tonight.
It ramped up to 10, the entire league. It all comes down to this, really. And for the entire format of Season 3 specifically, it really just came down to getting into that second split, more importantly, getting into playoffs as well. Here inside of Split 2, we have a top and bottom cut. 6 teams from Division A and B. The top 6 teams get put into the top cut of their specific split. So, for example, here inside of the Southwest, Oklahoma State as well as UTA Blue were both inside of the top 6 for their specific divisions within the region of Southwest. They are put inside of the top cut, and then the top 4 teams are guaranteed to make it into playoffs from that top cut. The rest of those 8 teams will then be put into the regional qualifier at the end of Split 2, and then talking about that lower cut as well, the top 4 teams from the lower cut will then be also put into that regional qualifier, and then the lower 8 teams in the bottom cut will all be cut out and will not have a chance of making playoffs. Each region will have 8 teams competing for the $25,000 high-stakes CCL Season 3 playoff championship. And of course, that will be on April's 16th, 17th, and 18th. So a lot of time to play before then. However, the most important thing is winning your games here in the top and bottom cuts and making sure you put yourself in the most optimal position to get into playoffs when that does go ahead and kick around.
Exactly. Maybe it's a little bit confusing at times with the way these formats work out, but what you really need to know is it kind of starts today. Like, these teams are really putting it all on display today. We got a great matchup, like I say, and this is one in one of the tougher divisions. You got Ottawa Gold in this division. For looking at it from one side of things, it's going to be Texas Arlington, who are kind of the underdogs today, trying to make a big statement with a win over Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State 10-1 so far on the season. You have to think they're going to be up in that top 4 of the split, like we just mentioned. For UTA Blue, they're going to be the ones trying to vouch for a spot in at least the top 8 to try to get themselves a better seeding, or even try to get up into top 4. But it's all going to start with a win today over Oklahoma State, if they can do it. And it's going to be Garrison to start. Oklahoma State have the advantage on that map, but I mean, I think if you're UTA Blue and you're looking at this, Oklahoma State hasn't played a lot of Game 5s. If you can extend this to a longer series, get into Map 4, get into Game 5, obviously it's going to give you a better chance, but it's a situation that Oklahoma State is not used to. They haven't had to go the distance in a lot of these series. So if you can force some emphasis on them, get them to where they're a little bit more uncomfortable, I really think Texas Arlington could have a good chance in this.
Well, as Camber said beforehand, Garrison Hardpoint's going to be starting us off. However, the rest of the 5 maps as we go through, for Moscow, it's going to be the S&D. For Control, we've got a little bit of the old-fashioned Raid map. And if we need to go the distance, maps number 4 and 5, Moscow and Raid will be our last 2 maps in this series. But realistically speaking, here inside of the second split of the season, this is the most competitive the CCL will be all season long. In each of the top and bottom cuts, it is basically all the best teams stacked up against each other, and I don't want to say the worst teams stacked up against each other, because that's just simply not true. However, it is the teams with the worst records in that bottom cut. So realistically speaking, now you're going to be playing either teams that are better than you or just at your skill level. It's really not going to be those blowout victories that we've seen in some of the splits before. I mean, unless you're maybe one of those very, very tip-top teams inside of your specific split. Either way, folks, map number 1 is getting ready to kick here, Garrison Hardpoint. And if you didn't see the announcement from earlier today, Garrison Search and Destroy, as well as, unfortunately, Crossroads Hardpoint, are getting removed from the rotation, and effective immediately is going to be Apocalypse Hardpoint coming into the rotation, and Express S&D being able to slip its way into the map rotation as well. And, well, I'm a fan of both of those 2 changes, and It's not starting yet in the CCL yet. That's going to be next week, as we're just going to be playing kind of split week 1 to split 2 on the same playing foot that we did from split 1. However, after this week, everything's off the table. That's when you can start playing those new maps. So teams, get to scrimming. Players, get to scrimming. Get those maps under your belt, because if you don't learn those quickly, you might find yourself at a very staunch disadvantage. And, I kind of love that, Camber. It allows for a lot more variety. It allows for more meta adaptation throughout the end of the year. And Folks, we're not there yet. However, we are on hardpoint. Garrison map number 1 to kick us off. OK State on the left, UTA Blue on the right. 55 seconds left in hardpoint number 1. It's just going to be those initial kills here with the Kriegs and those 74Us getting up close and personal. Not sure if we're going to see the QBZ, and as I say that, both kills go back and forth. Technical trades to start off the game. 5 points to UTA Blue early on.
Gonna get mixy here on P1. How about the kills up top for Linga? Yeah, the QBZ gonna be in play, at least for Jinja here, as a couple kills go back and forth. You know the rotations are what's really key. You got a player number 6 already pushing up into top green. That's a vital spot to hold down the rotation as they continue to kind of just battle it out over mid-map here, which we'll kind of have to pay attention to whichever team can start to focus towards hardpoint number 2 first. But it's gonna be the early lead for Oklahoma State.
Dakota in the point right now, waiting. Contested will come through. Our Urgent is there. However, we'll just dip right back on out of the hill. So Oklahoma State will remain in contention for now for the rest of this scrap time. But looking on towards those rotations, you're going to look for Linga, who's going to be setting up in the power position over towards the satellite to watch the push through green. However, Oklahoma State, they're going to opt to actually go through the bricks here. And this is the optimal push to go ahead and not only get your team the spawns, but also break into the hard point the most efficiently because of how difficult it really is to get through that top green out to satellite and get control from there. It's basically impossible at this point.
This is the better of the two ways, I have to agree, to try to hit around through bricks, Schlepp in a big spot to try to slow down the push, but you got a couple players here to deal with. Dakota's going to fall as well. All of a sudden, that puts Oklahoma State in a really tough spot because now you're coming off spawn. You have to make another long run if you want to set up this hit one more time, which it looks like they're going to try to do. 2 kills come through on the back end. This could be the opening they're looking for.
This is right here, though. Schlepp is going to be able to find one, but not that second player. UTA Blue still on the hill. It's going to be Linga up top. Has not moved from this spot yet here inside of this point. And although it's early in the game, UTA Blue just showed me that they can go ahead and hold down an entire point and retain retention of that hill as well. Specifically when Oklahoma State is able to get 2 to 3 players down, push up in towards that point, and still hold on resilient. So UTA Blue, they're going to try and go ahead and find the back spawns here. Player number 5 is going to be pushed up. They're going to get the parallels all the way out towards green and over towards lights. They just found themselves the spawn. They found themselves the kills, and more importantly, they can find themselves the first bit of time here.
Yeah, you see the spawns coming through at the back end. That's going to be massive as they're able to clean up the kills. Now they're going to be on the point. We talk about how Oklahoma State was the favorite coming into map 1. How about the performance already from UTA Blue? The rotations in check. They're picking up the kills. Now again, it's going to be Oklahoma State trying to make the break.
Shots through the van won't connect. However, it will be Royal in the back finding one, but won't be able to take down that second player. An unfortunate team kill from OK State's going to come through, and that'll allow UTA Blue to have all but everything locked down over towards P2. Looking over towards rotations over towards P4, excuse me, that was P3. Over towards P4 now, over towards bottom tank. That's going to be with the trash hill as it's called. We got Oklahoma State set up here. Dakota up top with the Krieg is going to be the one looking over inside of the power position, but actually turns around to try and see if anybody's going to be flanking through. Up top, going to be able to find the first, but Tony Ma wisely challenges with his teammate to go ahead and find the trade. About a 60-point lead right now here as it stands. UTA Blue, they're looking fantastic here thus far inside of game number 1.
A 60-point lead, and if you're the Cowboys, this is a position you haven't been in a lot of times throughout this season so far. It's adversity that you're facing all of a sudden. We'll have to see how they deal with it, because again here, rotations in favor of Texas Arlington. They have the setup in place, and it's the Cowboys trying to break. It's not going to be easy from that backside. 3 players fall. The 4th is Jinja trying to make something happen, but he goes down to Tony as well. Really, really strong showing out of Texas Arlington here out of the gates.
4 in a row, looking for even more over towards the right. Shots there are going to be able to fall. Lights control for the side of UTA Blue. Looking back over towards the spawns. They've had about a 40-second spawn trap. Oklahoma State, they've got an absolute 0 control of the map right now. 0 time on this hard point as well. And it has been all UTA Blue all game long. Camber, would you be willing to say that if the side of Oklahoma State does not step up and get maybe a full 60 or at least 45 seconds on this next point, that this game could potentially be over within the first rotation of hard points?
Absolutely. This is the hinging point right now. We get to this P5 hill, and it's a big moment for the Cowboys. They need to see some points go back in their favor because it's just been a string of hills so far for UTA Blue where they've been able to get this lead to where it is. You got Dakota here in lights. Gonna find a kill. Players are finally able to get onto the point, but the push is coming through over by bricks. They have some support over there to get those kills as well. So this is huge. Finally, you start to see some time go in your favor. Can they be aware of these spawns, though? You got a player spawning out in the back.
That's going to be clutch. Play number 6, gonna have to make some money moves here. Tony Ma looking for some kills, gonna be able to find one. Urgent is there for the second as well. Jinja, though, will go ahead and retaliate with 2 of his own. So Oklahoma State, even though they do not have any position on the hill right now, or at least finding a couple of kills, However, that's all negated instantaneously as Urgent's able to find a 3 spree. Still inside of the hill, UTA Blue. If the side of Oklahoma State's not careful and don't even break in here for a potential contest and more team kills come through just like that, it's going to be a 100-point lead, and essentially is at this point anyways. UTA Blue, through the first set of rotations, they have looked like the more dominant team here in the series, even though the technical record inside of Season 3 of the CCL does not say so, stacking up at least.
Yeah, and it's a 100-point lead, but I don't think we can count Oklahoma State out of it just yet. Now we go into another set of rotations. I think for them, you got to get the communication in check. Someone has to reset, hit the reset button to make sure that they're ready for this next set of rotations. We saw how it was UTA Blue who are one step ahead getting to the next point. And again, it's going to be P2 that comes in huge here, a money hill for both of these teams. But I think this is huge as well. If Oklahoma State can grab some time off P1, then make the rotation, that can be all they need to get right back into this game.
Yeah, well, we saw this scenario in the first set of rotations. It was the side of Oklahoma State who was able to hold down the lion's share of point number 1. The problem was, though, as you just highlighted, the holdover towards P2, because we saw Linga in play number 5 set up on it. All of the Oklahoma State players tried to rush through the bricks area to get back around and find those initial spawns for P2, as well as that time. Even though they broke through and were able to get 2 to 3 down, they weren't able to get any time out of it, and all that came from it was just a bit of a contest from the side of Oklahoma State. So UTA Blue, once again, they have those decent spawns here, but they're actually going to be set up in a pinch play as player number 8 spawns all the way out across the map. Dakota will find 1, however, Oklahoma State, they found 3. They've broken into the front door. Dakota, the last line of defense for the side of Oklahoma State, finds 1, finds the second, holds on strong. Needs to look up top towards top. Green got Dakota. He'll find all 3 players. 4 streak from him, looking towards potentially an artillery barrage and a cruise missile to come through. That's a kick-starting play. That's exactly what you need if you're the side of Oklahoma State to start the comeback here in game number 1.
Absolutely massive. The last player alive on the hill able to pick up a 3-piece and hold it intact for his team. That's just huge stuff, because now, like we can see, the lead starting to shrink down more and more here for Oklahoma State. They know that they have to string together a couple hills, so they're trying to make these early rotations. Urgent's the one slowing it down for now, but you have Royal finding him finally. Now, though, Schlepp in the way back. You talk about it, just that anticipation for this rotation has been huge for UTA Blue. Again, they do it here as we head to P3. They've got the spawns in their favor. This could be another moment where they put this one in closing distance on P4, on P3.
You mentioned that they have the spawns, but look how far across the map Oklahoma State has spawned out at. They were spawning over towards bottom green and satellite, and the side of UTA Blue has done such a great job of gatekeeping them away from that right side of the map that could get them control and eventually those spawns. Schlepp is there, though, however. It's only 1 kill out of 3 players pushing from the side of Oklahoma State. Another one through the front door. It's Schlepp who finds 2. Last time we saw it, well, it was Dakota who's on a 5 spree. Now looking back, it was on a 7. He actually does go ahead and get that artillery barrage and the cruise missile, so that is a little bit of utility for the side of Oklahoma State to use. He's actually going to call it in right now. So as we speak, hell is raining down from the sky above. Not going to find anything, and that might be a wasted opportunity. Although they don't want UTA to go ahead and stack up any more time on them throughout the entirety of this game, Oklahoma State, they need to come back in this game still, and now they don't have that utility to break over towards P4, P5, P2, any of the hills that are even remotely outside on the map. I'm not sure if I like the usage of the streaks there, but really it's not going to matter. It's the side of UTA Blue still have a 100-point lead rotating over towards the trash hill.
Yeah, this is desperation time for Oklahoma State. Fortunately for them, they're able to get a setup in place for this hill, but they're going to have to hang on to it for all 60 of these seconds if they want to make this comeback happen. Only 20 seconds needed for UTA Blue, and so far, so good for the Cowboys. They find 3, and they know the spawns are going to stay where they are for now in the backside. All of a sudden, starting to bring this one back a little bit, but is it just a little too late here for the Cowboys? Is all that is needed for UTA Blue is 18 seconds.
Well, it's not over till it's over, however. UTA Blue doing their best job at bidding for a map number 1 victory. Oklahoma State, they've fallen back just a little bit, basically took 30 points off of the side of UTA Blue's lead. They keep continuing to climb back, however, a break in towards the point. They've got to find player number 1 up towards the bridge. He'll get the shots there onto Linga, however, the rest of the side of Oklahoma State now pushing back through the hangar side, gets towards the point, but really all this is going to do is stall out the clock. They don't have the rotations over towards the next point, and with 14 seconds left, you've got to break instantaneously. This isn't something where you can set up a methodical push. With Jinja finding that first kill, it's going to be big. Shots onto the second won't fall. That's 2 down for the side of Oklahoma State. 10 more seconds left. Dakota slides around the corner. Shots aren't there, but the trade is. Tony Ma there inside the point with just 7 more seconds left. Now make it 5. UTA Blue. No one really close for a contest except for player number 3. Jinja trying to prolong it as long as possible. Trades come through. Pinstripe kill feeds there. UTA Blue take game number 1. A surprising victory to start this series. Oklahoma State falls by about 70 points in game number 1.
Wow. And I mean, that has to tell you right there that this could be a series going the distance. We expected Oklahoma State to win map 1. They're unable to do it. And it's both teams really trading huge blocks of time. At the start there in the first set of rotations, you had Arlington, who strung together 3 or 4 hills where they built their lead. And then it was Oklahoma State's turn to do the same thing. They started to string together the hills, made it more interesting, but in the end, just about 20 seconds was all that the Mavericks needed in those final 2 hills. Sure, they gave up about 60 seconds on P4, but they're able to finish it off in the scrappy P5. And it's a big-time statement win out of the gates for UTA Blue. All of a sudden, it's back against the wall for Oklahoma State. This is a situation they haven't been in throughout this entire season. They've been the ones 3-0ing teams week in and week out. Now, all of a sudden, you lose map 1, the first match of split 2. This has to be an eye-opening experience for them. They have to be a little worried over there.
Well, not only an eye-opening experience, Cam, but here's the thing. If you're the side of Oklahoma State, you mentioned it earlier on that the only time that they've lost a single map inside of this is either in their 0-3 loss or the one map that got taken off of them in a 3-1 victory in a search and destroy. So not a respawn game mode, but S&D is where the opponent took a game off of them. And as I mentioned beforehand, split 2, when you're in the top cut, you are playing the best of the best within those 2 divisions inside of your specific region. So there is no time to slack off. There is absolutely zero time to really take a step back and say, okay, you know what? We've made it here. We can just coast to an easy victory to get those top 4 spots. No, the teams like UTA Blue, who statistically have the worst records coming into here in the entire overall season, are going at OK State's neck and saying, okay, hey, we're coming. We're here. We're taking your spot that you think you have secured right now, and we're going to get into the playoffs, and we're going to get to the playoffs from the top 4 lock-in spot, not even having to go through the regional qualifier. And that's the most important thing, folks. If you are in the top 4 of the top split or the top cut inside of split 2, you are locked into playoffs. If you're the bottom 8 inside of the top cut, you have to play through a regional qualifier to get into the playoffs. And only 4 teams out of a 12-team regional qualifier from each of the 8 regions are going to get in there. And that is going to be very, very difficult because you've got a lot of hungry teams, a lot of very good teams, all looking for shots to take down some of the top dogs in the playoffs. Cambert, UTA Blue, they're happy right now, but Oklahoma State, this is not one of those games that's just another round-robin matchup. This is important. This is almost like your playoff lives being on the line potentially.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. There's the target on your back if you're Oklahoma State. And sure, it's been a breeze so far to this point to get where you're at, and you're in a good spot going into split 2. But all of a sudden, this is when it really gets intense, and you can see coming out of the gates that it was UTA Blue who were more ready for this match. It wasn't individual plays. It was happening as a team. Everybody communicating. Trades were there. The rotations, like we talked about, were all in check. I think you really just got to saw how one team was a little bit more prepared coming into this matchup than the other. And again, it's like we're talking about. Oklahoma State is all of a sudden going to be back against the wall, facing some adversity. And it's going to be interesting to see how they deal with it. That's what kind of decides things as we head down the stretch. Your gusto, what are you made of when a team tests you out of the gate? And right now, that's exactly what the Mavericks are doing. It's the Cowboys' turn to answer. But I do think Moscow Search and Destroy is a good sign for them. They have to be happy about that. It's a map where killing is really going to be the key in every round. You're not going to be playing to plant the bomb too often. Most times, it's going to come down to your challenges, to your trades, who can win those gunfights, and play it more as a team. I have to think Oklahoma State has somewhat of an advantage in this match.
Well, not only do they have the advantage there, but KD-wise, statistically speaking, it goes to the side of Oklahoma State. They've got better players in terms of overall KDs inside of the Search and Destroy game mode than the side of UTA Blue does. However, after a map number 1 like that, is there a little bit of wavering faults inside of the side of Oklahoma State? You know, when you go down the first map, when you're not used to losing map number 1s whatsoever, how are they going to be able to bounce back from that? What is the composure going to look like? And how is that going to really just kind of culminate inside of this map number 2? We're gonna have to find out here. But ladies and gentlemen, Moscow Search and Destroy, one of my favorite maps inside of this game. Maybe an unpopular opinion, sure, but it's go time here for map number 2. Oklahoma State down 0-1 here inside of this best of 5 series. UTA Blue looking for the potential upset here over the side of OK State. Folks, on the left side of your screen, it's going to be the side of UTA Blue. On the right side of your screen, Oklahoma State. On the offense, Oklahoma State looking to go ahead and bring this one through middle map or over towards A.
And I mean, I wish we could hear what they were talking about in times like this, because like we're talking about, this is the first time that Oklahoma State has really had some adversity this season. The first time they're going to go down through the first map of the series. And we'll see how they answer the call right now on defense. And it's a big time play for the offense here to try to hit through mid and attempt over towards B as first blood gets drawn. They're going to have an opportunity to take control of this site. There's only one player home. It's Dakota, who's creeping up right now. He's going to have a couple players thinking about the climb. Schlepp's going to find the kill onto him. And now this door just got kicked wide open.
Retake opportunity now, a 1 versus 4. They're actually going to wrap this all the way back over towards A. I love the play. The problem is, though, if you're Cash on the side of OK State, well, you're just sitting over at B thinking, okay, well, they're going to push me here eventually. No, this bomb has been wrapped all the way over towards A. At this point, you're thinking, okay, do I just jump off the map and, prevent Schlepp from getting an ace here instead of this round on the 3 spree, looking for streaks potentially already early on? He's still got a long way to go in order to get those streaks. However, they now have information that this player is over towards Eskies. Cash with those first shots over towards the top A bomb. Schlepp on the flank looking to find that kill. However, it's going to be his teammate who takes that kill off the board. UTA Blue, a quick 4 down, a flawless round win on the offensive side. OK State, they fall into that pit even deeper here inside of game number 2.
It's getting scary for Oklahoma State. This is a very confident play call in the first round on offense from UTA Blue. You're going to decide to hit through mid. You finally get the kills, and then you got the comm so in check that you rotate it back to A. Like you said, a great decision to make. I don't know. It really is starting to seem like a runaway train here for the Mavericks. I know we're only 1 round into this search and destroy, but already really, really confident decision-making in that first round. Now you get to go on defense, maybe a chance to extend it to a quick 2-0 lead all of a sudden. This is a big one for Oklahoma State. Momentum, we talk about in esports being so crucial, and right now they don't have any of that momentum.
Well, momentum is important in any setting, but especially when you're in an online setting as well. You're not there with your teammates to uplift your spirits. You're not really there doing anything else except being able to talk to them through a microphone. So having everybody's spirits be on the same page is a very, very difficult thing to manage. And not everybody has the same composure levels as you potentially inside of a match. And maybe you don't have the same composure levels as your teammates do in order to get in sort of the series. Obviously, again, it's just 1 game. The hard point was relatively close, and it's just been 1 round of S&D thus far. But as another 3 players go down, that's just beautiful trades from the side of Oklahoma, or rather from the side of UTA Blue. And really, it's not even trades. They're just winning their one-on-one gunfights, and more importantly, that's 4 down. Another flawless round for UTA Blue is going to leave them done and dusted. Oklahoma State, again, on the back foot in a very severely way.
I mean, this is just a perfect start. Again, you get a clean sweep, 4 lives going down for Oklahoma State. Nobody to get a kill yet. And it was really a patient hold from the defense at A. You saw the player laying down by the bomb. Sure, maybe some time goes by and you might start thinking to yourself, okay, maybe they're not home at A, maybe they're hitting B. But no, they hold their ground, they stay patient. Teammates there in support to pick up extra kills when the push finally comes through. Another perfect round from UTA Blue, and we go back on offense. We'll see if they make another bold play call here, and it looks like they are. They're going to head down B Street.
No shots there on the first yet, however, still 4 versus 4. They know the game plan now on the side of Oklahoma State. They've got a very good setup on the defensive side. 1 player middle map, 1 player watching that B Street push up, and 2 players over towards A that can rotate at any time possible, either over towards middle map or over towards B to go ahead and help their team here with any gunfights that they might choose to get into. Dakota spots Tony Ma over towards the bus. Tries to look over towards the top bush, but Schlepp is going to be the one there with the Krieg over the top that gets that first blood. 4-0 here inside of game number 2 thus far. Looking for even more over towards the right. Shots through the little bus stop there. Not going to be able to find anything with the wall bangs. Takes out the trophy in middle map, and now it's just going to be about finding potentially either A, another kill, or getting this bomb in towards that B bomb site. Tony Ma looks around that right corner, gets the shots there on Ajinja before being taken down from behind by Cash, who is playing a very sneaky roll over in towards Laundry. Urgent will find that trade, so Royal again in another 1v situation for Oklahoma State. Bomb will go down over towards B with about 20 seconds left. Hopping through the door. Royal doesn't find that first kill. Urgent's there. 3-0. Another quick round. My God. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, it doesn't look good, and you're at least able to get 1 kill during that round. It felt at the start there, I mean, when they get slowed down over by the street, you get some information if you're Oklahoma State. That, to me, felt like a moment where the offense is in a difficult spot and they might not win the round. All of a sudden, I know snipers aren't allowed, but I've been questioning it when Schlepp gets kills because he's getting these headshots with the Krieg and people are dying so fast. He picks the player up near mid-window, and that all of a sudden opens things up for the rest of his team to push forward. It didn't seem like a round that they were supposed to win, but they're able to get it done. The way this UTA Blue squad is playing right now, it almost feels like nothing is impossible for them. And I think we talk about adjustments in search and destroy. If you're the Cowboys, next offense, if you see even 1, maybe 2 players over by this street, you got to start screaming to your teammates, rotate over, give me some support, because now that's 2 rounds in a row where the offense has won it B.
Well, adjust when you have a player in Schlepp who's 5-0 in the game, 4-1 for Tony Ma, and well, the other 2 players are also not killed, not taken off the board, and well, they're still alive and living through 3 rounds of S&D, which doesn't really happen all that much, and unless you're maybe on the side of Ottawa black or gold, but to each their own. And same thing with Conquer Maroon. That team is also very, very scary getting into playoffs. Those are basically our top 3 teams, not only in power rankings, but I think in everybody's mind and which teams are going to be there. And in that top 3 at the very end of the year, could we see Ottawa and Ottawa in that last game for the final? Could we see Concord and Maroon take a series off of one of those teams, or potentially even 2? Maybe get to grand finals first. Who knows? So that's all kind of just left up in the air for playoff talk and whatnot. However, Oklahoma State and UTA Blue, the big thing is they've got Ottawa Gold inside of their division. So that's one spot basically already locked up for playoffs for those top 4 spots. And that's why this game is so important for Oklahoma State. Realistically speaking, in terms of everything, they don't really have a shot at getting that #1 seed unless Ottawa Gold just hits an incredible soft streak. But more importantly, we got a 1 versus 1 on our hands. Dakota going in through here. The Ninja Defuse comes through. Urgent finds the Ninja. UTA Blue, a heartbreaking round for Oklahoma State. 4-0 now inside of this best. Oh, my God. Oh!
That's got to be just some salt in the wound at that point. You're down 3-0, and then a Ninja Defuse, all of a sudden it goes to 4-0. And I mean, you get that moment where when you pick up a kill, the player has an opportunity to see kind of what you do right after you grab the kill, like that last half second of a spectator glitch. And maybe that's a moment where you might be like, oh, he got on the bomb right away, go get the check. But it was a great play out of Urgent to kind of give it that extra second before he went for the Ninja, kind of throw up that extra, maybe you're not sure whether or not he got on it or whether he got on or not. And he does, in the end, get on for the Ninja Defuse. He gets it. That is incredible stuff. Now, all of a sudden, 4-0. And it's getting more and more difficult for these Cowboys.
Well, Oklahoma State, good news. You've finally taken every single player from UTA Blue off the board once. Bad news, you're down 0-4 here in the Search and Destroy. You've got a 2 versus 2 now, an opportunity to go ahead and win your first round in the Search and Destroy. And, statistically speaking, we said beforehand, Oklahoma State, the only map that was taken off of them that wasn't a 0-3 loss or a 3-0 victory was a Search and Destroy against this roster. So maybe wavering a little bit more in Search and Destroy compared to the respawn modes. It's shown thus far, specifically in a very pronounced way. But in this 2 versus 2, it's Royal and Jinja left alive against Linga and Urgent. They're going to be wrapping this back over towards A, but more importantly, Royal is just playing with his bomb down right here. 30 seconds left here. Linga around the corner. Royal's going to be able to get those first shots. The trade should come through, and it does. Urgent left alive now in a 1 versus 1. They should be meeting here soon. Semtex over the top, over towards the elbow, over towards the Esky. Should be able to hear the bomb pickup. Player number 5 and player number 1 ring around the Rosie. Is he going to try and wrap this over towards B? He doesn't have enough time to get this bomb over towards B. He's just got to turn around and go play it towards A. 8 seconds left. 7, 6, 5. He's got to slide to get it. Did he get it? Oh my goodness. Did he get it? Did he get it? Did he get it? He got it all somehow, some way. Oh my god. That was like half a millisecond left to get that one off. Now Urgent, Jinja, 1 versus 1, gets him from behind. The defuse didn't even matter. Wins the gunfight. What in the hell did I just watch?
What are we watching overall right now? This is ridiculous stuff. You have a Ninja Defuse around to go, and then that? What in the world just happened? The alpha brain plays. This guy's skull can't be big enough for his brain. Urgent again making it happen for UTA Blue. Just when you thought he didn't have time to get over there and plant that bomb, he does, and then he makes the read on the player rotating back to get the kill. Oh no, I mean, you talk about wind in the sails. It is dead calm out there on the oceans for Oklahoma State. They have nothing to get behind them right now. And oh my gosh, I mean, at this point, if you really just hope you can get 1 round before you head to the control, I guess.
I mean, you'd at least hope so. Minute and 15 seconds left. Oklahoma State on the offense, and well, adjustments, they've been theirs, at least in technical terms. They've been getting these rounds down to 1 versus 1s. Problem is they just haven't been winning their 1s, but oh my, I still can't wrap around what just happened that last round. My mind might be too small to comprehend the plays that were just made there, but either way, Oklahoma State now not only at the adversary of match point, but UTA Blue, if they win this, they'll be at series point with the 1 win away from a control being the key to getting them to 9-3 on the season. However, though, Dakota's there taking down Linga. We've seen 0-5 comebacks before, so don't think that we can't see one again, but as Royal gets some shots over there towards the left, they've got a 4 versus 2 here for the end of the round.
Yeah, we've also seen some black magic out of UTA Blue, so can't count them out in this round either, as finally Oklahoma State are going to close one out. You had to do it there. You get up 4-2. But they do. Cowboys grab a round. That's huge before we get to the control. Even if you don't win this one, at least you didn't get 6-0'd. But you're right. I mean, we've seen full sales in the past. It can absolutely happen. You have to think at some point the Cowboys will flip the switch and start to wake up in this series. Maybe that was it right there. They just needed to see one go their way. But, I mean, it's been a lot of fun to watch this Mavericks team on offense and some of the play calls. Now you're in a closeout round on offense again. Do you go to B? Do you finally go to A, where you haven't been all game long? And it seems like finally they'll be normal human beings and go over to A.
What a game!
Literally, take a breath.
What a game! I mean, just one of those series where the unexpected is going to be what we have to expect in every turn and every crevice of this series. However, first blood to OK State. 1-5 down here in the Search and Destroy. As I said last round, we've seen 0-5 comebacks before. However, will we see another one here? Well, only time will tell. Schlepp over towards Eskies, looking for an equalizer kill to go ahead and make it a 3 versus 3, but will go ahead and have relatively unorthodox trigger discipline. That was the best way of me saying it. And as another player falls, now it's up to Tony Ma in a 1 versus 4. I believe player number 8 just saw the crossover towards B, so it should be an entire squadron of OK State players now wrapping over towards that B site. However, it's only going to be 2 players for the time being, so maybe Tony Ma has some easy pickings here. However, the shots over the top from the Krig are going to be able to tag him up just a bit. He has information on that player. Now they have him cornered in that side of the map. Cash takes some damage here from Tony Ma, 74U, but realistically speaking, when you have a 1 versus 4 and you have basically a fourth of the map to yourself when everybody from the other team is cornering you around, you're not going to win that 9 times out of 10, probably 10 times out of 10. It is relatively impossible to win those situations, and that's another statistic that goes in the way of Oklahoma State. 2-5 here. They've won 2 rounds in a row. Now it's time to win another 4 in a row if they want to win this game. And, you know, Camber, one thing I will say, if you are up 5-0, you know, in the back of your mind, you got to think, okay, well, we just won 5 rounds in a row. What's stopping the other team from winning 5 rounds in a row?
Absolutely. That's a great point. And something I'm thinking about, too, is like, yeah, we've seen some crazy stuff, some crazy plays out of UTA Blue, and you give them credit for that. But it's also been fairly lucky. I think that bomb plant from Urgent was a pretty lucky one. Anytime you're ninja diffusing in a 1v1, that's definitely playing the odds. So I think if you're Oklahoma State, you can bank on that a little bit. Like, okay, these guys have been getting lucky. Let's turn up for real now, and we should have them right where we want them. You're right. You win 2 rounds here. All of a sudden, it gets a little bit more interesting. This is going to be a huge offense to get under your belt. You can see the defense is set up at A. Haven't seen much of a play call to go to B from Oklahoma State like you have from UTA Blue, but it's going to be a big first blood, whichever team can get it.
Ginger shots over the top will just escape with his life, but so will Schlepp. Red State's back towards the rest of his team. B, wide open right now for the time being. Oklahoma State, obviously they don't know where the players are like we do here on stream and in the Codcast to your view. However, they're going to wrap over towards A, and while they've got a more difficult gunfight here and a more difficult battle to win, it's uphill to say the least. However, Tony Ma will find the first blood for UTA Blue. Oklahoma State now in a 3 versus 4. They've got bomb in their hand, but they've got to be careful here. Royal will find that first kill. Linga, Cash should be a one-on-one here in just a second. However, they've got 30 seconds left to work with. Linga finds that kill over from out of office. Cash pushing up. He's able to find one. They've got to get the bomb, and they've also got to go ahead and plant this. Cash just slides across. Jinja, they might have been able to hear him over towards the back. He's looking. Oh my goodness, COD timing comes through in the worst way possible. Jinja isn't able to find the kill. A-bomb should be going down, but actually hops off of it for a second. Looks for the kills. Cash finds one. A 1 versus 1. He can just lay down. He can play time. Are they going to run into each other? Might be able to find the shots. He won't be able to plant. Cash, you got to go. Cash, can he find the kill? Finds the shots. No, UTA Blue. 6-2 in the search and destroy. That right there is another reason why my heart has not been able to stop pounding through the entire match. You see a 1 versus 2 there that's almost won, and both of those players were super indecisive in what they wanted to do. You had one player from the side of Oklahoma State, he's like, oh, I want to go ahead and plant the bomb. Well, wait a second, I want to get off the bomb. And then you got the player from the side of UTA Blue who's sitting there, well, do I push him? Maybe I don't push him. Sits behind the wall and then almost pays for it with his life. So they win the game, they win the round. However, I must calm down.
Yeah.
And release all my stress and release all this as we get ready for a game number 3 on Raid.
We're going to need some inhalers if this one goes any further than 3 maps. And I mean, that was one of the more interesting search and destroys I've ever seen in terms of some of the way those rounds were won. That was absolutely crazy stuff. We are going to go to a break. When we come back, we'll try to break down what is this absolute pandemonium of a match so far. Raid control is going to be an interesting one. I have to think the Cowboys are going to flip a switch here soon. We'll see if that's the case when we come back after this break.
Well, it's been a matchup of anything that is, I guess you could say, unexpected. It's been thrown at us. The kitchen sink, some unorthodox plays, and even some 1 versus 1s that didn't go in the way that really anybody thought was going to go. Folks, welcome back. UTA Blue have a 2-0 lead on Oklahoma State. My name is McCormiel alongside myself, his big old boy Cambert. We've got potentially 1 to 3 more matches here inside of this first best of 5 series on the stream, but more importantly, we're going to walk you through real quick the entire schedule for our week here, so rather for just today. On the Alpha stream here, obviously you're going to have myself and Cambert for all 3 matches here tonight, but besides Oklahoma State and UTA Blue, our match at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time is the USD Coyotes versus Iowa. After that, Oregon Green versus GCU Black will end out the night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but don't you worry, because Bravo's also having matches all the way up the exact same time schedule, 8, 9:30, and 11 o'clock. Right now on the Bravo channel, UTD Orange versus OU Crimson. Match at 9:30, Texas State versus OK State. The team that's playing here, they're going to be playing again on the Bravo stream next, however. And then, of course, to end off the night, CU Black versus Grossman will round us out for day number 1 of week number 7. But I believe Cambert has a couple of words that he wants to go ahead and preface here before this one potentially draws to a close.
Hot takes coming right off the press. Like they're still warm coming off the press. Yes, it's been unexpected so far. Yes, UTA Blue is in the lead 2-0, and it's not what we saw coming. But I'm going to tell you right now, Oklahoma State is going to flip the switch. They're not going to go down easy, and we will see a map 5. We will go to that raid, search, and destroy. They come out commanding in this control and win. The hard point is close again. They win that, and then we'll head to Game 5. I don't know who's going to win Game 5, but we're going the distance. I'm telling you, you heard it here first on the caster desk from Cambert. It's not over just yet.
Well, folks, either A, you just heard words of wisdom and fortune-telling from Cambert, or you just heard a oblivious blind dog walking into a fire. Either way, we're going to have results for you after potentially 1, 2, again, 3 more matches on the Alpha stream. And after this one, we'll, again, split 2, still continuing to heat up. We've got so many matches here tonight that it's getting me filled at the brim with excitement. I'm tingling, but Cambert, finishing out this series, hot takes from him.
Yeah.
Oklahoma State,
I'll
OTA.
expound upon it. So
okay. Well, we're in for a treat, folks. Hey, cheers. Raise a glass for Cambert.
Get your notepad. But no, for real, like I think Oklahoma State, you make it this far, you're 10-1. This was not the opening you were expecting, obviously, but you can't go down and fold like this. You have to expect them to have more in the gas tank than they've used so far in this series. There's just no way you get to the split and then you lose 3-0 and it hasn't happened all season long. They're going to have to turn up here. I have to think. Somebody in the Discord just said, listen, boys, wake up. We're not going down easy. They're going to come out in this match red hot. I expect them to win it.
Thus far, 3 lives on the side of UTA Blue, 2 lives on the side of Oklahoma State. So right now, Cambert is telling the truth. We'll have to see how this goes. He does 15 seconds into the game and basically a tick and a half on the site. You've got it called correctly. However, Tony Ma up top is going to be raining hell with some Texas over the top. Royal inside the point won't be able to win the kill. They're on the Linga, so they've got 2 ticks over towards B. However, they don't really have control of anywhere else on the map. Linga up and towards Tiki. A couple players over towards the A side as well. 1 player up and towards top Art, actually going to get shot punched to death. Dakota with a gun barrel to the nice nose of the player on the side of UTA Blue. This is going to give them control over towards A for the time being. Might be able to get a tick or 2 over towards this point. And well control, Oklahoma State's good at it. Respawn, both of these teams are good at it. See if Cambert's predictions hold up.
Right, and I mean, OK State opts to go to B off the rip, and that honestly is not a very confident showing, and not a confident sign. Usually, if you're trying to catch your opponent off guard, you go to B. That's what they do. But it's worked out for them. They got ticks over there at B. Now they're focusing to A. 2 ticks here as well. Kills starting to come through, but now the Mavericks stepping on in to slow down the push. They get 2 of their own. 2 ticks at both sites. Now it comes a big time to make a decision if you're Oklahoma State. Where are we going to go to try to finish one off and extend this round? It looks like it's A where they head back to. They finally get a kill there from Dakota. This could be a chance to set this round straight and get it extended with more time. The lives not in your favor right now, but you're going to get this 3rd tick on A. It looks like it.
Well, live advantage 3 to the side of UTA Blue. And if they do go ahead and give them the A site here, this is going to make it a hell of a lot harder for Oklahoma State to control the map here, because we got Schlepp funding 1, and even though Gingy goes ahead and finds that 2nd kill, Oklahoma State's going to have a whale of a time being able to go ahead and control that B site on the defensive side. I mean, just look at the players that are set Now, player number 5 up in towards top bedroom. 2 players from Oklahoma State trying to push up through middle map. Even though player 6 is going to have a one-on-one gunfight right here, he's not going to get overzealous with the chow. Well, as I say that, he'll get cut down from Dakota. Royal sneaks in towards money. The Semtex will come through, weaken up that player, but they've got a whole hell of a lot of players and then a whole cavalry pushing up through the kitchen. Dakota, Jinja find 2. Schlep and Urgent go ahead and trade it out, but Schlep finds a 2-piece there onto the players from Oklahoma State. This is where it gets down to the clutch time. 2 kills to the side of UTA Blue up right now. 55 seconds left. We've got a lot of time here inside of this round, and of course a lot of lives remaining and a lot of gunfights all around the map. The problem is, they've got to get past the line of defense that Oklahoma State has set up so perfectly.
Starting to trickle down here. Only 7 left for the Cowboys. Cash will fall from behind as well, and now is when it really gets interesting because you don't have lives to work with. You have to decide how you want to make this break happen. I think it has to be the long routes, but you can see Linga in a huge spot here to slow down the push out of pool. You got a couple players getting ready to make their descent. Now they come on out. He's going to find one. Can he get the second? He does get the team shots from Tony Ma there. And this round looks like it's going to go to UTA Blue. 4 lives left for the Cowboys. So far, my prediction doesn't look too good. And all of a sudden, I'm a Cowboys fan here.
Well, you know, let's just say here, Ken. Just like any college fan that doesn't actually have a college team that they follow, fair weather down to the T. You know, Camper, I'm sitting here thinking, you know, with UTA Blue winning that round, although your prediction isn't looking great, it was a defensive side for the side of UTA Blue. So speaking in the terms of more advantageous sides, defense is obviously going to be that better side for your team. So again, it's not the worst thing in the world if you are the side of Oklahoma State. You know, winning an offense, it's relatively difficult on any control map that we have here inside of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. So on this map, you know what? You're saying after that first round, all right, you know, we didn't win that first round. Let's just hit it up in the second round. Well, one player that needs to go ahead and reverse that round completely out of their mindset, that's going to be Royal. Royal not having a great start here thus far. Round number 1 didn't really go his way. 2 and 7 as we speak, as we go, as we fly. Trying to rewrite this here on the defensive side. Oklahoma State, they're down 1. This is the time you got to step up and make those big plays.
You mentioned Royal, and it's been a tough series so far for Royal. A 1.95 KD in control typically, but right now, obviously, it's not going that way. He's got to definitely turn up. Only 2 and 8 so far, and now on offense, go the Mavericks. They're going to go to A first, and they already have a tick through. Kill coming at Pillars is important from Urgent. Still has 2 players to deal with. He's going to find 1 top laundry. Jinja falls as well, an opportunity for the team to start stacking here at A. And the momentum continues to be in favor of the Mavericks. It doesn't look so good for Oklahoma State. I think it helped the momentum as well to start on defense if you're the blue team. Only going to pick up on what was a great showing in the search and destroy. They're continuing it here so far in this control. They have progress at B now going down as well as the 2 ticks at A. Oklahoma State doesn't know where to go right now on defense. They're forced to change their direction, change their focus. Now they're headed over to B to try to slow down the push. 1 last tick is all they need. Urgent's just going to hide by the rock. No reason to peek on out, and they're going to grab it.
Why did they not go ahead and fly out towards that point? I get you don't want to lose lives, but losing B is worse than losing A, realistically speaking. I mean, you can play either side really well, and, you know, it just depends on where your strengths are on the defensive side of what site you want to chalk up, but they let 3 players push out from the side of UTA Blue onto B and cap that without relatively any sort of presence, pressure, or confliction at all. It just came, it just went, and it's gone. UTA Blue, they've got the A point, or they got the B point. They've got 2 ticks over towards A. We saw Oklahoma State not be able to go ahead and win their offensive round over towards B the last time after they captured A. However, no one home from the side of Oklahoma State. They're going to stack the point. They're going to capture it. They're going to win that round. Now up 2-0 inside of the control. A sweep, the brooms, everything inside of the janitorial closet. Janitorial, whatever. It's coming out. Cleaning spray being used on the side of Oklahoma State.
I wish you could see my face right now because it's a look of shame after making that prediction to say that Oklahoma State's going to reverse sweep in the game. I know it's not over. I know it's not over. But boy, oh boy, it doesn't look good. And so often, too, the conversation is how Call of Duty can be day-to-day. Okay, well, real quick, Royal didn't get a kill in that last round. So that's not going to help matters at all. He needs to definitely find at least 1 kill here in this round. But I was just going to say, Call of Duty is so day-to-day in general. Some days you get on and you can't miss. Some days you get on and you can't hit the broadside of a barn. So that seems to be the situation here. One of these teams is showing up more prepared today, and it's obvious which team it is. UTA Blue right now. They have a chance to close it out in 3 here, and they're going to be on defense to do it, which is definitely suiting them pretty well.
You said it's day-to-day. Kemper, tell me why I can't shoot straight any day of the week then.
Some people are just born with it.
Years. It's been years since I've been able to shoot straight all the way back to
apparently, I don't have much
That's
wisdom, so you don't want to hear from me anymore. I tried to be a visionary once tonight.
And there it is! Royal fights 2 here in the round. They've got progress at B. They've got 2 ticks, now looking for the third. And as soon as that happens, then it's 4 down for the side of Oklahoma State. So, a glimpse of hope, and then it just all gets ripped away, shattered and broken, and a bomb goes off in their heart, and their entire unit explodes. It's been one of those series, Oklahoma State. They've had some really defining great moments that have been flashing, and then all of a sudden UTA Blue comes back, and well, here's an opportunity. 2 kills go down. Oklahoma State now pushing through. I believe the stick there comes through, and it does. Cash finds the kill there onto Tony Ma, so now it's going to be the entirety of B controlled, and they are going back over towards A. Problem is, they got A last time, weren't able to grab B. This time, it's an upward hill battle. They don't have any ticks over towards A. They at least had 2 ticks on B last time they were on the offensive side.
This is a big opportunity, though. You get the point captured over at B. Now you're trying to hit through the backside. You've got a couple numbers here to do that. You get 1 down. Royal, though, will have to get this kill if he wants to keep the push alive on this back end. It's not going to happen, so now it's going to have to come from the front off spawn. 20 to 20 about is the life count, so it's definitely not out of reach here for the Cowboys, but they have to get full progress at A. The control is already there for the defense right now. Big kills are going to have to come through from Jinja here. He's going to find one. His teammate's finding another. Tony Ma through the top. They trade punches, but Jinja's shot comes up quicker. So that's going to be huge. This could be the opportunity to start to push through. Unfortunately, though, spawns are close for UTA Blue. They are not giving up any progress at A right now. Finally, some players able to get on the point. But just as I say it, they fall as well. So it's just not looking too good here for Oklahoma State. Still have some time to work with. You got to make something happen soon.
Oh, Lingo was playing sneaky over towards the left. Somehow the shots there from Jinja coming through with the stun coming through from the side of UTA Blue. Urgent, last one alive over towards that blue van. They've got 2 players now making a crowd play around him. The money shots are there. Jinja's going to be able to find that kill. So now a little bit of positioning. However, Tony Ma from middle map with that Krig will find him. And now it's a little bit of, I guess, position for Oklahoma State as they push up. UTA Blue, though, they're surrounding them once again. Schlepp finds 1. Urgent with 2. It's an urgent push now needed from the side of Oklahoma State. 9 versus 9 in the life count. Still an opportunity for them to come back. Urgent has pushed up. They're trying to fly through middle here. Trades come through. Pinstripe kill feed. 2 left alive. 12 seconds left. It's the last attempt for the side of Oklahoma State to push through the map. Royal, the last one alive. 7 and 18. Now 8 and 18 is trying to make a desperate attempt. He's got to fly out. He's got to get on the point. Nobody there for the contest. Oklahoma State fall. UTA Blue, bring out the brooms, baby. It's going to be the side of them. 3-0 triumphant sweep in their first game in split number 2.
My goodness, McCornmeal. I mean, I said that if UTA Blue had a chance in this, it would have to go to Game 4, Game 5. They just came out and proved me wrong. Not only that, but I tried to make the prediction, tried to give some life to Oklahoma State, and that also didn't matter. It just wasn't in the cards for them tonight. You could tell that one of these teams came out more prepared for this match. The comms, the teamwork was more together for UTA Blue. Oklahoma State, you get a taste of your kryptonite tonight. You get a taste of the bad medicine that you haven't tasted all season long. I think it's a big wake-up call. It's a moment where you're going to have to go back to the VODs and try to learn some things. They were 10-1 coming into this. They hadn't seen a series go beyond 4 games, and now all of a sudden they get swept by UTA Blue. It has to really come as a surprise, and I'm sure they're going to learn from it.
Folks, and that only loss that Oklahoma State had coming into this, Cambert, Ottawa Gold. Ottawa Gold. One of the top 2 teams inside of the CCL, if not the top team. Still yet to see. Those 2 teams not only play against one another, but of course, get to playoffs in that regard, folks. A 3-0 sweep for the Mavericks. The Cowboys fall. Unfortunately, their guns were not drawn fast enough. They were not winning their one-on-one gunfights throughout the entirety of the match. And, well, you know, back in the Wild Wild West, and when there was a duel to be had, it was all about your 1v1s. And when you don't win those, well, the Cowboys are going to fall. Down and dusted 6 feet below, at least. It was peaceful as they went, but UTA Blue, they came in with a storm. The brigade came through, and they are here to stay. Folks, they are trying to be the team that takes not only Oklahoma State's spot inside of that top 4 in the top cut of split 2, but they want to make playoffs without having to get to the regional qualifier, folks. It was a fun game. It was a great series, but more importantly, we've got 2 more great matches coming up here later on tonight. 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. That might start a little bit earlier here as we are a little bit ahead of schedule as we stand. My name's McCormill. That's Cambert on the other side of this break. We're going to see our second match here of the night. That's going to be not only between the USD Cowboys, but the University of Iowa.